I finché un down, non catangi la cosa, che tocca tutte cagare.
I'm Jason Brown, and I'm back with Lisa Cox, and we're actually talking about the OHV. You just recently had a meeting.
Yes.
And tell us about that meeting and what's going on with OHV.
Yeah, so our off-highway vehicle management program on the forest slash OSV, over snow vehicle planning.
Okay.
Every year we apply for a grant through the California Off-Highway Vehicle Division. The state grant system is how we can keep our OHV program running.
Okay.
And every year we ask for input from the public. So we have a stakeholders meeting and we have a separate public meeting every year in partnership with the Bureau of Land Management Bishop Field Office.
Okay.
Because we kind of co-manage OHV
right, sure.
together.
It just overlaps.
But separate grants.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
And in addition to that, our law enforcement division has their own grant.
Wow.
And one of our awesome volunteer organizations that helps us with OHV trails called Valley Outdoors, they're submitting their own grant as well, which is super cool news because they have been so incredibly helpful in helping us get to our OHV road repairs. From all the storm damage.
Nice.
So, so it's great to have public input.
Are they the ones that also do the rescues and stuff of certain groups of people and help rebuild, like the not the buttermilk, the coyotes?
You mean like recovery of people who get stuck out there?
Yeah.
I think there's there's a whole suite of groups that do that,
I might be thinking of a
and
different
private businesses that do that.
So tell us more about this public comment period, this meeting that had happened. When does it open online so that public can? You said it was in March something.
Yes. So starting March 5th.
Okay.
So that's when the grants are open for public comment. So you actually have to go to the OHV division of the California State Parks website to submit your comment. And you have to submit separate comments
for each group.
For each grant. So if
copy paste.
So that's really important to know if you would like to provide input on law enforcement with the Forest Service, law enforcement with the BLM, Valley Outdoors, state parks. It's all separate. So unfortunately, that's how it is. But you can submit your comments on it's ohv.parks.ca.gov.
Okay, all right, we'll put that down here.
And then you can also email our OHV program manager. His name's Adam Leidy. He would be happy to hear your comments. And then our law enforcement officer, Laura James.
We'll put both of those email addresses right here for them to look at. So when does public comment close?
May 6th.
May 6th.
So you have quite some time to get your comments in.
So you have 2 months, really.
Normally, like when it comes to environmental review periods or the NEPA process, you only get like 30 days. So this one's a little longer, which is nice. But the public meeting is the great way to kind of figure out what you want to comment and how to comment so that your comment is the most effective and most useful for how we plan and spending our OHV grants.
Is there like a second round after the comment period, or is this like it and then you guys go back to the drawing table to do what you need to do?
Great question. I believe the grant is written after those comments are received and they get submitted to the state. I don't think there's another public comment period after that.
This is it.
And then the state has to approve that grant. And I will note that the state is not able to fund as much as they have in the past for OHV. So just,
there are some budget issues.
Setting expectations and the reality here.
So your voice can be heard, and we put the URL down there. We've got the email addresses of the 2 individuals that Lisa shared. This is your moment to be heard on OHV and OSV. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you can comment on that as well. But with the OSV is going through a separate NEPA process just for the forest.
All right.
That comment period was over already. But...
Oh, never mind then. OHV and OHV only, but this is your moment to be heard on OHV, March 5th and closing on May 6th. All right. Well, thank you, Lisa, for coming in. We always love having you in here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Jason Brown with Skippable News. This is Lisa Cox.
So awesome to be with you. I'm Pastor Tim Homan from Mammoth Lakes Lutheran and Grace Lutheran in Bishop with a devotional for you. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Luke 23. The narrative of God's love for us could not be more epic. It begins with absolute perfection. It's filled with heartbreak, betrayal, but also promises and faithfulness. There's only one way for the reign of the devil to be undone, and Jesus had to do everything just right. Jesus had to be born, becoming God and man. He had to be sinless, never once falling away from his Father's will. He had to usher in the kingdom of God, breaking the devil's rule. He had to be baptized to take the place of the holy child we could not be. And he had to die. The payment for sin is death, and we owed God a debt that we could never pay, a debt only Jesus' perfect life could satisfy. Jesus was on the most critical mission known to the existence as the kingdom of God, warred against the kingdom of the devil. In perfect love, Jesus conquered all that is wrong in this world and paid for the sin of every person. In victory, he's preparing for the day when heaven and earth are new and reconciled, when God and all living things can live together in love and peace forever. What kind of love is this? It's the unfathomable love of God, who will stop at nothing to be with his beloved creations. I'm Pastor Tim Homan from Mammoth Lakes Lutheran Church and Grace Lutheran Church.
Hello from Bishop Elementary School. I am Dr. Gretchen Skrotzki, the principal of Bishop Elementary School.
And I am Adam Routt, the vice principal at Bishop Elementary School. And we're here to talk about some exciting upcoming events at our site.
Well, I can tell you that this Friday, March 8th, there is no school for students because we are having a professional development day for teachers in which they will be able to work as grade levels and also as in the upper grades with their departments and look at data and do some other things together as teams. So again, no school on March 8th. We also have our TK Kinder pre-registration opening up March 8th as well, so that's this Friday. We do have a dual language program, which is a 90-10 model. So what that means is one class per grade level. Some of the time Spanish is taught and some of the time English is taught, and that is to build students to be bilingual, which is great. And so we have a parent information night coming up on April 11th at our Bishop Elementary School library. English will be spoken from 5:30 to 6:15 for the presentation, and if you speak Spanish, 6:30 to 7:15. So come on down if you are interested in our dual language program.
Absolutely. A few other fun dates that are coming up is our wonderful math team is hosting a family math night from 5 to 6 o'clock in our BAC. Free homework passes to students who bring their families. Lots of engaging math games for students and parents alike. So please come attend. It's a short amount of time, but it's a really exciting amount of time as well. Last year was our first year and we had a wonderful turnout. Also coming up on March 20th, we have our Altrusa Spelling Bee for 4th through 8th graders. That's going to be at JKBS at 5 o'clock in the evening. I know Mrs. Buck and her team of students in 4th and 5th are working hard on those spelling word lists as well. And don't forget, we have spring break coming up March 25th through the 29th. As always, we always have a minimum day before those weeks off. So on the 22nd, that'll be a minimum day of March. And that's all we have for this upcoming time here at Bishop Elementary, but we would love for you to be a part of any and all of those activities as well.
And thank you again. I'm Dr. Gretchen Skrotzki, Principal, Bishop Elementary School.
And Adam Routt, Vice Principal at Bishop Elementary School.
Thank you.
I'm Jason Brown with Laughing Parrot Productions and Skippable News. I am sitting here with Hector Martinez. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah. We've known each other for a long time.
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we've done the recruitment video together, and you're a city employee.
Yes, sir.
What do you do for the city?
So I work in the Department of Public Works.
Okay.
We take care of the streets, water, sewer systems, anything else that comes up.
Okay. Well, we normally would have in your position today where you're sitting, we would have Fire Chief Russell, but I requested to have you here because you just recently have received a promotion. Tell us what you did before, and then tell us about the promotion and what that is going to mean for you moving forward.
So
Before the promotion.
Before the promotion, my title was engineer.
Okay.
And that's basically you're in charge of the truck, driving the piece of apparatus, getting it to the scene of an emergency, and being able to get water from point A to point B with a smooth transaction.
Okay. And you have just recently been promoted to captain. Right? And what is the role responsibility change between engineer to captain now?
So basically, as an engineer, you're in charge of the apparatus.
Right.
Now, as a captain, you are now in charge of personnel at the fire scene of an emergency.
What does that mean when you're in charge of everybody that is
on my truck?
On your truck.
And possibly on the next truck, depending.
Oh, so you could be, so if there's not a fire captain for that truck, then you would be
yes, you would be
for
the
both?
You would be the highest ranking officer of those trucks.
So what if there's a captain on each truck? Then that captain be responsible for that team, you'd be responsible for your team?
Yes.
Okay. How does that work with like communication? I mean, that means the two of you captains have to be...
Yes, we'll be communicating hand in hand, letting them know, hey, my personnel is doing this task, and he can let me know that his personnel is doing other tasks.
Okay.
Depending on who shows up first, you always have the opportunity of being the incident command on scene until somebody else comes in, depending on the jurisdiction, and says, I will be taking over from here.
Okay.
So in a sense, it just gives you more responsibilities, hence twice the pay.
As a volunteer, exactly. I was going to go there, but you beat me to it. Good job, Hector. What happens beyond this point now? I mean, do you work captain for a period of time, and then there's another position, or? I'm just curious.
So there's always other positions. I believe the next position above captain would be battalion chief.
Okay. Who's the battalion chief now?
Right now it would be 103, Steve Lindeman.
Okay.
Being a battalion chief comes with, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure others feel the same, with a lot of honor. It's a position that a lot of us would like to hold one day, and once we're capable of completing certain steps and showing that we can take on that responsibility, I'm sure that the position would become available.
Hector, you are very well loved in this community, and I think that you can see that by the response on Facebook as you have been promoted to captain. I hope that one day you might be able to see you becoming the battalion chief. But right now, we're proud of you for where you're at as captain. That is great. I think that's a high honor as well. Did you have to do any education between engineer to captain?
So as of now, I've been doing. You have
to do education now because you're captain.
Of course.
Yeah.
So the learning process never stops.
Right.
If you're not learning something, you're stagnant, and that means that you just got to continue moving up the chain to find out what you can improve on, whether it's for yourself or to keep your teammates safe.
Okay. Well, I think that captain is a high responsibility, considering that you're responsible for everybody on your crew in that fire. That's huge.
It's also great having other captains above you that you can kind of piggyback off of.
Yeah.
And they can teach you the ropes and possibly even correct you if you're veering off.
And you guys all work well together.
Yes, we do.
I've watched you guys. I mean, it's an amazing thing, especially being an all-volunteer fire department.
Yeah, I think I take a lot of pride in it. We do a lot of the things that paid firefighters do, only we get it done on our spare time.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to come out and become a part of the team, they show up on Wednesday nights at what time?
It's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday nights.
Oh, it's changing now.
Tuesdays,
okay.
The first Tuesday of every month, we have a meeting.
Okay.
Show up, somebody will open the door for you. We'll welcome you in. Normally we have you stand up, let us know who you are, what your involvement is in the community, or what you plan on doing and why you want to get on.
Okay.
Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night of the month is training.
Right.
So we head out either to the training facility or we might be at the fire station, and it might be death by PowerPoint just to get us to where we need to be.
What a great example, death by PowerPoint. Okay, so and that's at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock?
Trainings are at 7 o'clock, meetings are at 7:30.
Okay, so here you go, guys. Tuesday is the first Tuesday of every month. If you want to go to the meeting, that is at 7:30. And if you want to just go to the training and kind of come sit in and see what's going on, that's at 7 o'clock every Wednesday. Thank you. Congratulations. We're really proud of you over here at Sierra Wave, and look forward to following your career as a volunteer fire department with twice the pay now.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I'm Jason Brown with Hector Martinez. We're talking Bishop Volunteer Fire Department. Why is he shaking his head?
They took out volunteer. It's Bishop Fire Department.
It ain't gonna matter, is it?
Well, it is now. He's still recording.
And so there you have it, guys. We have a new title. It is Bishop Fire Department.
Hi, this is Ryan Mills, your Bishop Bronco Marching Band and Color Guard Director. This Friday, March 8th, we will be holding a joint fundraiser at Black Sheep and 1903 Tap House featuring the BUHS Jazz Band. We will be playing at Black Sheep from 5:30 to 6:30 Friday afternoon, and we'll be moving to 1903 Tap House after that from 6:30 to 7:30. We'll be playing an hour set at each location. All day Friday, March 8th, if you go to Black Sheep and purchase anything, all proceeds will go to the marching band and color guard, as well as if you buy a t-shirt at Tap House 1903, through the whole month of March, 50% of those proceeds will go to benefiting the marching band and color guard as we embark on our trip to Washington, D.C., which is coming up the end of May on Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so much for your support, the entire community of Bishop, and we hope to see you there.
I'm Jason Brown with Laughing Parrot Productions, Sierra Wave Media. We're doing Skippable News today, and I have Sandra Salazar from WIC in the studio. Welcome.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me. I am Sandra. I'm here on behalf of Inyo County Health and Prevention. So as you stated, I am from WIC. I'm their registered dietitian as well as their program director.
Okay, so before we get into talking about what WIC is, what is this month?
All right, so this month is a really special month for me. As I stated, I'm an RDN, and today, this whole month, is National Nutrition Month, which is really great. Yes, wonderful time to celebrate.
Yeah, well, can you tell me a little bit about what WIC is? Because there might be some people, I know personally what WIC is because I've used WIC when we were younger and needed WIC, but could you tell our viewers out there what WIC is?
Definitely. It's such an important program. So what WIC is, and it stands for Women, Infant, and Children. So it's a supplemental program. We offer benefits to children ages 5 and under, and then also the moms while they're pregnant, postpartum. So we offer the benefits, but it's more than that. We also offer like education, we're offering breastfeeding support, nutrition support, offer references to or referrals to other programs in the county. So yeah, all really good stuff coming from WIC.
Yeah, it is a good program. It's exciting, but who can qualify for WIC?
All right,
or sign up for WIC, or,
yeah.
however you would say that.
So we do have some certain parameters, as I stated. Children have to be ages 5 and under, and then moms, when they're pregnant, they're eligible for it, as well as 6 months to a year postpartum. In addition to that, we're also going to be looking out for a few things. So one of the key things that we look out for is Medi-Cal. If you do have that, you're automatically eligible. If not, then we'll ask for some other forms of verification and then determine your eligibility based.
Well, like I said, I love WIC. We used it when we were younger, you know, in life and needed it, and it was very beneficial for us. And anything else you want to share with us about WIC or anything, because this is the nutrition month. you got to be doing something for this month.
Yeah, you're completely right. So on top of everything that I said, we do often host events. One of them is for National Nutrition Month. So we have 2 events that are up and coming. Our first event is going to be next week on March 11th, and that's going to be running from 3 to 4 p.m. at Statham Hall, and then in Lone Pine.
Yeah.
Yes, in Lone Pine. And then we are also going to have our second event here in Bishop, and that's going to be Thursday, March 14th from 3 to 4:30. We will be at the Bishop Park, so right by the little like jungle gym area, gazebo. You'll see tons of tables set up. We're going to have giveaways, healthy snacks, fun interactive stuff for the kids to do and for all the family.
And Laughing Parrot's going to be at the Bishop one, and we're going to be DJing.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Anything else?
No, nothing else. Just hope that everybody can come and join us at our event. If you need more information about it, please do reach out. You can either reach out to myself, which is going to be ssalazar@inyocounty.us, or come over to the county building right next to Grocery Outlet and come and find me and we can help you out.
Sounds good. Really glad. Looking forward to it. I love DJing, so this is going to be an absolute hoot. I haven't DJ'd kids music though before, so this is going to be exciting. Sandra, thank you for coming in. We appreciate having First 5 WIC, anybody from Health and Human Services over here. We're really excited every month to have you guys coming in. So
I
this
appreciate
is
it.
so much fun. Thank you guys. You're watching Skippable News. This is Jason Brown, and this is Sandra Salazar.
Hello again. This is David McMullen, Mono Master Gardner, and I'm here with Dustin Blakey, the local farm advisor. And we're going to talk about things we can do now for our March gardens. And one of the things that we have to deal with around here is the vagaries of weather and the climate. So it kind of affects the things that we can do. So pruning roses, a lot of people have roses around here, and I think that's one of the things we can talk about. Dustin, you want to say something about that?
Sure. This is fine rose pruning time. Normally we don't want to start pruning our roses around here until about Valentine's Day, and then you can safely do that pretty much through the month of March. There's no exact time to do it, but it does turn out that the beginning of March works out pretty well. You don't want to be doing your pruning on a day that's like rainy, or if there's a wicked storm that's unusual, it's planned to come in that's going to be really cold. Probably want to put it off for that. But otherwise, there's a lot of mystique and mystery around pruning roses, but it's not as hard as people think. You can get fussy about it. If you talk to the rosarian folks, they make a big deal. But the real important thing is you want to reduce the size of the plant, get rid of any branches that are kind of moving to the inside, and just clean it up. You don't really have to worry about following real special rules or something. You can do that, and we can talk another time about it. But for the most part, just clean it up, give it a haircut, and this is a fine time of year to do that.
Give it a haircut. It is a thorny proposition, though. Where I used to live, our roses wouldn't really go dormant because the years were always so mild. So we kind of had to force them into dormancy and stripping the leaves off and doing all that. We don't have to do that here. I mean, my roses, they just, they go dormant. That was it.
We do dormant pretty well here. That's one of the things that's a little unique about our climate is we have real winter.
We do, indeed. And I've also noticed that when I go out in the morning, the ground is frozen. It's hard. And so I don't know how far that goes down, but we do have that to contend with here. So you can't really dig at this point. It's just too dang hard.
Well, it depends on where you're at. If you work at it, you can probably get some digging. But people up like in Crawley Lake, well, that's not even an option.
That's not an option, right?
Back to summer, maybe.
Maybe with some power tools.
Right.
Yeah. So besides pruning roses, getting ready, get your garden ready. Not a bad time to start seeds, you think?
This is a great time to start seeds. Your earlier things in the garden, like tomatoes, this is really the time you should be starting them. And the nice thing about doing tomatoes from seed is you have a whole lot more choice of what to pick. If you rely on what's at the nursery, they have good tomatoes, but if you have that real special heirloom thing in your mind that you want to grow, you're probably going to have to get seeds, and you can start it. And so you want to start those right now. The things that like more heat, like your peppers, and if you want to start squash or melons indoors, I'd probably wait another 3 or 4 weeks before I would start those.
So we're starting seeds in either indoors or in some sort of shelter, right?
Right.
Against the overnight low temperatures that we get here. I mean, I looked at the weather forecast this morning, and it looked like the overnight lows, or at least I'm from Big Pine, so at least there we were looking at 33 at the lowest for the week. So that's still pretty doggone cold. We putting things out, yeah.
You're not putting things out yet at all. You're going to be starting the seeds inside where it's nice and warm. You can even, if you're really into gardening, get a heat mat, get things going, but just put it inside where there's plenty of light. When the plants get big enough, start looking at the weather outside, and hopefully we're past all freezing. But the real key for things like tomatoes is when the soil temperature starts getting above 50 degrees regularly. That's when you put them out. But you're probably still going to have to, just make sure that you prevent any frost from hurting the things. And there's a bunch of cool season plants too that we can also put in the garden directly, things like lettuce. It might be a little bit still a little variable with the weather and a little cold, but pretty soon we can put lettuce seed out. And lettuce is one of those things that's going to be a lot different than, say, like a tomato, we're going to put it in a pot inside. The lettuce we're going to sow directly.
Directly sow, yeah.
Right, and it can be a challenge because if we get a little bit too late, the temperature starts getting warm in the day, they often will send up flowers and bolt, and we don't really want that to happen. But so as early as you can do something like, lettuce or spinach, the better. But we want to make sure that we're past the real bad part of winter, and I think that we're probably really close to the right time.
Oh wow, yeah. Each year seems so different to me. It's hard to tell. But I've been tracking the weather and seeing that low temperature slowly rise up. So I feel like I'm on the cusp. But anyway.
Well, that's the thing about weather. It's really unpredictable, and I'm trying to predict what's going to happen. It may end up getting colder again. We don't know.
We only get a cold snap. Yeah.
So it's like job security for farm advisors because the weather's always so unpredictable. And speaking of weather, so one of the things that we normally would do this time of year is probably prepare your garden, get the soil ready to go.
Yeah.
But if you may have noticed, we've had some moisture and everything is pretty saturated. So we can talk about that perhaps next month.
It's very muddy. Yeah, it's very muddy, right? At least in my yard. So
right.
Yeah. Well, thanks. We'll see you guys the next time.
If you have any questions about gardening, be sure to contact the Master Gardeners.
Why choose us? Because our success is determined by your success. Our job is to promote you. With our combined success, we foster an after-school programs teaching, broadcasting, writing, TV, and film. We help each other and teach future generations. Call us at 760-914-9883, extension 2.
It's breathtaking.
Dune, rated PG-13.
Oh, destiny calls for you to take the next step.
What are you talking about? I've already taken all the steps.
Skadoosh. I'm kicking butt and taking names.